Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about my everyday carry items, the things that I carry with me every single day of the week. But this video is going to be a little bit different from the usual videos that talk about EDC, because most EDC videos are all about the individual choice of product, what it is and why it might be the best choice in that particular category. But this video is going to be focused more on the why of the product. Why do I carry this item with me? Most EDC videos have affiliate links in them, and that's how the YouTuber earns their money. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But there are no affiliate links in this video because it's not about the products. It's about why this particular type of product has been chosen. There are 7 items in my list. I do provide links to them, though they're not affiliate links. There are 7 items, but if you stick around to the end, there is also a bonus item that is worth checking out. So let's get started with the first item. So the first item I want to talk about is one key for my house, garden, and office. A few years ago, I upgraded my locks to make them compliant with the insurance company's requirements, and this gave me the opportunity to have everything operate on just one key. This one key opens every lock, and this means that I don't have to carry a bunch of keys. It means that I always have a key ready. It reduces the weight of my key ring, and I can then add a couple of other things onto it without making it too bulky, but more of that later. I can open my front door, my back door, I can open the kitchen door and the side door of my house. I can open the door into my office, and I can even open the gate into my back garden with just one key. I have 2 other items on my key ring. The second item on my key ring is a Samsung tag. Of course, if you have an iPhone, you'd be using an Apple tag instead. As well as the obvious benefit of being able to find my keys if I happen to misplace them, or find my phone from the tag, there is another reason that I have it on my keyring. When I go into my garden office, I need to switch on several lights, my laptop, my monitor, the sound system, and these are all controlled by Wi-Fi, but use several different technologies. I've programmed my tag to set a virtual switch on my phone that is detected by IFTTT, short for if this, then that. IFTTT supports just about every device and tech there is, so when it sees the virtual switch come on, it can activate all the necessary office lights, laptop, etc. And when I leave, a long press on the tag will unset the virtual switch, and IFTTT will switch everything off again, and I can just simply lock up the office. It's really handy to have this on my keyring, as I already have it in my hand as I enter and leave the office. So all I've got to do is short press to come in and long press to go out. I may do a future video on my home and office automation, so if you'd like to see that, then let me know in the comments. The third item on my keyring is my tiny Rovivon torch. Of course, we all have lights on our smartphones, but this is always a few steps or a few taps away, and not half as convenient as having one in your pocket all the time. Not only that, but the little Rovivon light is much brighter and more directional at maximum, and it can be dimmed down so as to be less intrusive. There are other settings to provide a wide area light or a UV light, which has many uses, like proving the authenticity of banknotes. I've had great customer service from Rovivon, such as when I lost the little button that switches it on and off, they just sent me a complete new unit with no questions asked. In the UK, this little keyring costs £49 on Amazon. The fourth EDC item is this little voice recorder. It's incredibly slim and light, so it just slips into the pocket of my jeans and you would hardly know it was there. It's super simple to operate. Just switch on and press record. Having it in my pocket at all times means that it's on hand for me to capture any ideas that I might have while out and about walking or in any situation. I can record those items just immediately there and then, I know I could use the voice recorder on my phone, but this is just faster and easier and more accessible to me. Typically then, I would copy them onto my computer and transcribe the text into OneNote. I then have these notes to take action on or to develop the ideas further as I need to. I bought this little recorder many years ago and chose it because of how small and inexpensive it was. At the time, I didn't know if I would use it regularly, so there may be better options available today. But my recommendation would be to buy something that is small and light and simple. It doesn't have to be high quality. You don't need many features for this to be effective. This particular one is no longer available, but there are many other similar ones to be found online. The fifth item in my everyday carry list is my Swiss Army knife. Now, this particular one comes in a couple of different formats with the same features on it. There is the classic red Swiss Army style, but I particularly like this silver one, not just because of the colour, but because it is so slim and so light and slips neatly into the little pocket of my Levi jeans. As well as having a blade, that's the most obvious thing which you'd be using for opening letters and opening parcels and cutting up cardboard for recycling. It also has a bottle opener and a can opener. It has a screwdriver, which is really important from my point of view, because that's really useful to me as a photographer for all those things like tightening a tripod mount or putting your camera into a cage. The most important thing is that it's always there in your pocket when you need it. The Swiss Army knife also has a nail file which can be handy from time to time, and this version of the Swiss Army knife costs just £31 on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Item number 6 is a microfiber cloth. Really handy to have one in your pocket to clean my glasses or my camera lenses. I have several of these and just drop one into the wash when it's been used a couple of times. And then the last item on my everyday carry is a little interdental brush. I'm not going into detail on this. It happens that my wife is a dental hygienist and recommends this as something that you would use anytime to remove a little bit of food from your teeth. Much better than carrying a toothpick. Of course, it's disposable, so once you've used it a few times, you can replace it. They're really inexpensive. These are the genuine and literal everyday carry items. But there's also one thing that I carry much of the time, and that is my little notebook. It really consists of 3 items. The 3 parts are the notebooks themselves, the little pen, and of course the cover. The notebooks that I use are these sight notes. I think that they're the same as field notes that many people use in the US, but they are more readily available here in the UK. It doesn't really matter which you choose, both are the same size. Sight notes are incredibly cheap. Mine came in a pack of 5 for £11.50. They're just for short notes on the go, so each notebook lasts a reasonable time. I keep them in this leather folder, also bought on Amazon. It's the right size for either sight notes or field notes, and it actually fits in the hip pocket of my jeans. I can also slide it into my camera bag. The leather cover is great value at just £8.95. And then I've added this little Olight pen. It's a really attractive little pen with a lovely bolt action. If you move the bolt up, it reveals a hard lead pencil. I tend to slip the bolt down to use the ballpoint pen most of the time. It easily slips onto the wallet held by the pocket clip on the pen. When the cover is closed, the pen is secure and hidden. It's light, easily used, and fits the bill, and it means that I can jot down some notes or draw a diagram at any time. The OLED pen costs £12 on Amazon. So I hope that you find these items useful. As I say, there are links in the description. I'd love to know what you think of my EDC and if your choices would be different. Please leave me a comment. And next time, I'll be covering what's in my camera bag. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to hit that like button.